Lesson 1. You are not poor. You are trapped. You are not poor. Read that again, slowly. You are not poor. What you feel as poverty is often something else. It is a trap, a quiet trap, a daily trap. It is built with habits, fear, silence, and waiting. Many people work hard every day. They wake up early. They come home tired. Yet nothing changes. Not because they are lazy, not because they are weak, but because they are stuck inside a system they never questioned. This lesson is not here to shame you. It is here to clear your mind. Poverty is not always about money. Many people with money still feel poor. They feel anxious. They feel empty. They feel controlled. And many people with very little money feel free. They think clearly. They move slowly. They choose carefully. So the real problem is not how much you earn. The real problem is how trapped you are. A trap works best when you do not see it. When life becomes routine, you stop asking questions. You repeat the same days. You follow the same path. You believe the same ideas. You start saying things like, "This is just how life is." That sentence is dangerous, because the moment you accept it, you stop looking for another way. Most traps begin in the mind. You are told what success looks like. You are told what you should want. You are told what is normal. School teaches you to obey schedules. Society teaches you to compare. Social media teaches you to perform. Slowly, without noticing, you stop listening to your own voice. You live according to expectations. And expectations can become invisible chains. Being trapped does not always feel painful at first. Sometimes it feels comfortable, predictable, safe. You know what tomorrow will look like. You know how much you will earn. You know what problems you will face. But comfort can be dangerous when it kills growth. A cage with soft walls is still a cage. Look at how time passes. Days move fast. Weeks disappear. Years pass quietly. If nothing changes in how you think and act, the future will look exactly like today. That is not fate. That is momentum. Life moves in the direction of your habits, and habits, when unexamined, build traps. Many people wait for a big moment, a lucky break, a perfect opportunity, but traps do not open by waiting. They open by awareness. The first key is seeing clearly. Ask yourself honest questions. Why do I live the way I live? Why do I believe what I believe? Why am I afraid to change? These questions feel uncomfortable, but discomfort is often the door to freedom. You might say, "I have responsibilities. I have no choice." That may be partly true, but having limits is not the same as having no options. A trapped mind focuses only on walls. A free mind looks for doors, even small ones. Freedom rarely arrives in one big jump. It comes in small decisions made daily. Another part of the trap is silence. People suffer quietly. They hide confusion. They hide doubt. They pretend everything is fine. But silence keeps traps strong. When you name your situation, you weaken it. When you say, "I feel stuck," you begin to move. Awareness turns pain into direction. This lesson is not telling you to quit everything. It is not telling you to take risky steps tomorrow. It is telling you to wake up, to stop calling yourself poor. Words shape identity. When you say, I am poor, you define yourself as broken. When you say, I am trapped, you define yourself as someone who can escape. Escaping starts with the mind. You do not need more motivation right now. You need clarity. See where your time goes. See where your energy leaks. See what drains you. See what keeps you small. Write it down if you can. Be honest. No one else needs to see it. Remember this. A trap can only hold you if you stay asleep inside it. The moment you become aware, the walls start to crack. You are not behind in life. You are not a failure. You are simply someone who has been living without full control, and control can be learned. This is the foundation. Before money, before success, before big plans. First, you must see the trap. Because once you see it clearly, you will never see your life the same way again. And that is where real change begins. Lesson 2. You are not poor. You are trapped by habits. If Lesson 1 was about seeing the trap, this lesson is about understanding what keeps it locked. Most traps are not made in one day. They are built slowly, quietly, brick by brick, and the bricks are habits. Habits decide more than talent, more than luck, more than intelligence. What you do every day becomes your life, not what you plan, not what you hope, what you repeat. Many people believe they are poor because they do not earn enough. But look deeper. Two people can earn the same amount. One moves forward, the other stays stuck. The difference is not income. The difference is daily behavior. A habit is something you do without thinking. That is why habits are powerful and dangerous. When you repeat the same actions every day, you also repeat the same results. This is how people get trapped for years without noticing. Think about your mornings. How do they start? With purpose or with distraction? Think about your evenings. Do they build your future or numb your mind? These small moments shape everything, not in one week, but over time. Many traps feel harmless, scrolling for hours, spending without tracking, saying yes when you mean no, avoiding difficult conversations, delaying important work. None of these feel like a problem in the moment, but together, they create a cage. A trapped habit is often supported by excuses. I am tired. I deserve this. I will start tomorrow. Tomorrow is the favorite word of a trapped mind. Tomorrow feels safe because it asks nothing from you today. But tomorrow never arrives the way you imagine. It always becomes today, and today repeats yesterday. Another dangerous habit is comparison. You look at others and feel behind, or you look at others and feel superior. Both keep you stuck. Comparison steals clarity. It makes you chase goals that are not yours. It makes you spend energy proving instead of building. Some habits drain money, others drain time, some drain confidence. The worst ones drain all three. And the most dangerous part is this: you can be busy every day and still be trapped. Movement is not progress if it has no direction. Breaking a trap does not require extreme discipline. It requires awareness and replacement. You do not delete habits, you replace them. If you remove something without filling the space, the old habit comes back stronger. Start small, very small. A trapped mind wants big changes. A free mind understands consistency. Choose one habit that weakens you, just one, and choose one small action that strengthens you. Make it simple enough that you cannot fail. For example, if distraction controls you, do not try to become perfect. Just protect 1 hour a day. One quiet hour. No noise, no scrolling. Use that hour to learn, to plan, to reflect. That 1 hour, repeated daily, can change your direction in months. Another trap habit is waiting for motivation. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. Habits stay. Do not ask yourself how you feel. Ask yourself what must be done. Freedom grows from structure, not mood. Also notice how you talk to yourself. Your inner language shapes your limits. If you repeat, "I am bad with money," "I am lazy," "I always fail," you train your brain to obey those words. Speak differently, not with fake positivity, with responsibility. Say, "I am learning," "I am improving," "I am building control." This lesson is not about perfection. You will fail some days. That is normal. Freedom is not never falling. It is standing up without quitting. Traps win when you stop trying after a mistake. Habits also include who you listen to, what content you consume, what voices you allow. If you feed your mind noise, drama, and fear, do not be surprised when your life feels chaotic. Feed your mind clarity. Simple ideas, honest lessons. Growth takes quiet focus. Remember this: you are not trapped because of one big mistake. You are trapped because of many small, unconscious choices. And that is good news, because small conscious choices can undo them. You do not need to fix your whole life today. You only need to change one habit that moves you from unconscious to aware, from reaction to intention, from trapped to slowly free. This lesson is about ownership, not blame. When you own your habits, you take back power, and power, used daily in small ways, opens doors that once felt invisible. Lesson 3. You are not poor. You are trapped by fear. Habits. Keep the trap strong, but fear keeps it locked. Fear is quiet. It does not shout. It whispers. It tells you to stay where you are. It tells you that change is dangerous. It tells you that failure will destroy you. Over time, fear becomes a voice you think is your own. Most people do not fail because they are incapable. They fail because they are afraid to move before they feel ready. And readiness is often an illusion. If you wait until fear disappears, you will wait forever. Fear shows up in many forms: fear of losing stability, fear of being judged, fear of looking foolish, fear of choosing wrong. These fears feel logical. They sound responsible. But look closely. Many of them are just stories your mind tells to protect you from discomfort. The mind prefers known pain over unknown growth. That is why people stay in situations they dislike. At least it is familiar. At least they know how to survive there. Growth feels uncertain, and uncertainty scares the mind. One of the strongest fears is the fear of responsibility. If you try and fail, you must face yourself. But if you never try, you can blame circumstances. blame feels lighter than ownership, but blame keeps you trapped. Fear also hides behind perfection. You tell yourself you need more knowledge, more planning, more preparation. But deep down, you are afraid to start imperfectly. The truth is, clarity comes from action, not from thinking. You learn by doing. You grow by adjusting. Another fear is the fear of success. This sounds strange, but it is real. Success changes your identity. It changes how people see you. It changes expectations. Some people stay trapped because success would force them to leave their old self behind, and that feels like loss. Fear is also taught. Families pass it down. Cultures reinforce it. Be careful. Do not take risks. Stay quiet. Follow the path. These messages are meant to protect, but they often limit. Protection without growth becomes a prison. To escape fear, you must name it, not fight it. Fear grows in darkness. When you say, "I am afraid of failing," fear loses power. When you say, "I am afraid of being judged," fear becomes smaller. Naming fear turns it from a monster into information. Then ask a simple question. What is the real cost of staying the same? Not the imagined risk of change, the real cost of not changing. Look at your future if nothing shifts. That future is the price of fear. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is movement despite fear. Every free person you admire felt fear. The difference is they acted anyway. They did not wait for confidence. Confidence followed action. Start with controlled risks. Small steps where failure teaches, not destroys. Apply, learn, speak, try. Each action weakens fear. The brain learns safety through experience, not logic. Also understand this. Fear often protects your ego, not your life. It protects your image, your comfort, your excuses. When you see this, fear loses authority. You do not need to become fearless. You need to become honest. Honest about what you want. Honest about what scares you. Honest about what you are avoiding. You are not trapped because you are weak. You are trapped because fear has been making decisions for you. And once you see that, you can take that power back. Fear will not disappear in the next lesson, but your relationship with it will change. And that change is enough to move forward. Lesson 4. You are not poor. You are trapped by identity. Fear tells you to stay still. Habits keep you repeating. But identity decides who you believe you are allowed to become. This is one of the deepest traps, because once something becomes part of your identity, you stop questioning it. Many people say things like, "This is just who I am. I am not good at learning. I am not a leader. I am not smart with money." These sentences feel harmless. They feel honest, but they are walls. When you label yourself, your brain works hard to prove that label true. Identity is built from past experiences, from failures, from criticism, from roles you were given. Maybe someone once told you that you were average. Maybe you failed publicly. Maybe you grew up watching others decide for you. Over time, you accepted a smaller version of yourself. The danger is not failure. The danger is letting failure define you. One mistake becomes a story. That story becomes an identity. and identity becomes destiny if left unchallenged. A trapped identity keeps you loyal to your past. Even when your future is asking for change, you may feel uncomfortable when you try something new, not because it is wrong, but because it conflicts with the person you think you are. For example, if you see yourself as someone who always struggles, success will feel unfamiliar. You may even sabotage it. You may return to comfort. This is not self-hatred. It is identity protection. Identity also shapes what you believe is possible for people like you. Your background, your age, your education, your location. These factors influence your self-image, but they do not define your limits. They only define your starting point. Another identity trap is victimhood. Life is unfair. That is true. But when you build your identity around being wronged, you give away power. Responsibility feels heavy. Victimhood feels justified. But justified does not mean free. Changing identity does not mean pretending. It means updating. You are not erasing your past. You are rewriting your role. You can say, I was someone who avoided challenges. Now I am someone who faces them slowly. Identity changes through evidence. Small actions create new proof. Your language matters here. Stop using permanent words. Always. Never. I am. Replace them with process words. Learning. Becoming. Practicing. This shifts identity from fixed to flexible. Surroundings also reinforce identity. If everyone around you sees you as the old version, change will feel harder. Not impossible, but harder. You do not need to cut people off. You need to spend time in spaces that reflect who you want to become. Identity is also shaped by what you tolerate. What you allow in your life teaches your brain what you deserve. Raise your standards slowly, one boundary at a time. This lesson asks you to look in the mirror honestly, not with judgment, with curiosity. Ask yourself, who have I been acting as? And who do I need to become to escape this trap? You are not poor. You are not broken. You are someone who has been living inside an outdated identity, and identities can be changed. In the final lesson, we will talk about building a way out, step by step. Lesson 5. You are not poor. You are trapped until you choose a way out. Every trap has an exit, but exits are not found by dreaming. They are built by action, quiet action, repeated action. This final lesson is not about motivation. It is about direction. Because once you have awareness, habits, courage, and a new identity, you need one thing more: a clear path. Most people fail at change because they try to fix everything at once. They feel inspired, they plan big, then life hits, energy drops, old patterns return. This is not a personal flaw, it is a design problem. Change must be simple to survive real life. A way out is not a dramatic escape. It is a system you can follow even on tired days, even on boring days, especially on those days. Start with control, not growth. Before you chase more money, more success, more freedom, first build control over your basics, control over your time, control over your spending, control over your attention. Freedom grows from control, not chaos. Look at your day honestly. Where does your time go? Where does your energy leak? Where do you react instead of choose? Do not judge. Observe. Observation is power. Then choose one direction, not 10. 1. Learning a skill, improving communication, building health, creating structure. Pick the one that supports all others. Usually, that is learning, because learning multiplies options. Your plan does not need to be perfect. It needs to be clear. Decide when you will work on it. Decide how long. Decide what success looks like this week, not this year, this week. Expect resistance, expect boredom, expect doubt. These are signs you are leaving the trap. Traps feel safe. Growth feels unfamiliar. When discomfort appears, do not panic. Stay steady. Track progress in simple ways, not to pressure yourself. To remind yourself that movement is happening. Small wins matter. They rewire belief. Also understand this. You may outgrow people, routines, goals. That is not betrayal. That is growth. Do not shrink to stay accepted. If you fall back, do not quit. Traps are patient. They wait for shame. Refuse shame. Return to the path, again and again. You are not late. You are not behind. You are exactly at the moment where awareness meets choice. That is powerful. Remember the title of this series. You are not poor. You are trapped. And traps are temporary when you stop cooperating with them. Your life will not change overnight, but it will change direction. And direction, followed long enough, changes everything. This is not the end. This is the beginning.